Now, the American Special Envoy Steve Witkoff is in the state of Israel in efforts to try and bring about some kind of a ceasefire on the Gaza Strip and also to discuss the worsening humanitarian catastrophe that is unfolding due to starvation. Now, this is the first meeting between Steve Witkoff and Netanyahu since both Israel and the United States have called their negotiation teams back home from Qatar about a week ago. Now, Steve Witkoff, along with the American ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, toured one of the Gaza's humanitarian foundation's aid distribution site and met with some of the local Palestinians. Mike Huckabee described the joint US and Israeli-backed GHF food aid initiative as an incredible feat, citing GHF's claims to have delivered over 1 million meals a day for a starving population of 2+ million people. Now, the Americans are also now claiming that they have distributed more than 100 million meals to the Palestinians in the last 3 months. Now, during their visit, Witkoff and Huckabee have received briefings from the Israeli military. Taking to social media platform X, Huckabee said that Hamas opposes the GHF because the group delivers food to people without it being looted by Hamas. The visit took place amidst mounting international pressure over famine in the Gaza Strip, where all GHF sites are located in areas that are controlled by the Israeli forces and have frequently become scenes of desperation and shootings by the Israeli soldiers.
I send a message to U.S. officials and to Witkoff to end these things completely, stop the war entirely, and open the crossings so we can live like the other countries out there. Let our children live. We don't want aid here. We come and get humiliated and shot at. We are humiliated just for a loaf of bread. This is not a life. This is not living. We want everyone to make concessions and bring peace.
Now, the American President Donald Trump has termed the situation in the Gaza Strip to be terrible and has said that despite the United States contributing about $60 million for food aid in the Gaza Strip, he simply sees no result on the ground.
Oh, it's terrible what's occurring there, yeah. It's a terrible thing. People are very hungry. You know, the United States gave $60 million for food, and it's a shame because nobody, I don't see the results of it. And we gave it to people that in theory are watching over it fairly closely. We wanted Israel to watch over it. Part of the problem is Hamas is taking the money and they're taking the food.
The situation on the ground remains very grim. An explosion followed by a plume of smoke was seen over the Gaza Strip early on Friday as the Israeli military has continued its offensive on the enclave. A video of a hostage released by the Al-Quds brigades is mounting more pressure on Netanyahu's government. The hostage, identified as the Israeli-German Rom Braslavsky, who was abducted in October 2023. Now, the group claims that the video was recorded days before it lost contact with the captors who were holding Braslavsky and have alleged that the hostage's fate at this moment is unknown.
President Donald Trump's Mideast envoy has arrived in Israel on a critical diplomatic mission. Steve Witkoff's visit is expected to focus largely on the humanitarian crisis unfolding in Gaza. Witkoff is meeting with Israeli leaders, and those talks also are including discussions on his ongoing efforts to broker a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. Israel has been under heavy international criticism in recent days over images of starving children coming out of Gaza. In response, it has announced a series of steps aimed at improving and increasing the flow of food into the territory. However, aid groups say there still hasn't been any signs of improvement on the ground. So the world will be following this visit by Witkoff very closely, hoping that he can bring about some sort of improvement in the conditions in Gaza.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.